Hello good people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Let us talk about getting scammed in the online space. And to help me discuss this topic, I have a fellow YouTuber and fellow entrepreneur. Wamugunda's daughter has a YouTube channel that is all about business and business enterprises. She also runs an offline and online product shop. You should totally check out her products. They're really pleasing to the eyes and they are very useful in our homes. As usual, I have left her links in the description box below. Feel free to check her out. I am sure you can learn a lot from her. But in the meantime, let me allow Wamugunda's daughter to introduce herself so that you may get started in today's video.
I'm Wamugunda's daughter. I do videos mainly about business and youth empowerment. The reason why I am so excited about talking about this topic today because I am a victim of being scammed online. It happened to me sometime last year, and what happens when you get scammed online is that you don't even know who to talk to right after you get scammed so that you can get your money back. But the good thing is that today we are here to answer all those questions.
Welcome Wamugunda's daughter to Writers Fantasy YouTube channel. Feel right at home. Let us start by discussing how to identify scammers. These people usually have a very peculiar behavior. For example, something as simple as a transaction where I tell you the price and you give me the money, you will see them try to involve a third party. They would say something like, please take this number, call this person, they will be able to give you your money. Question that if you ever experience that, whether online or offline, if a third party is introduced in a very simple case where it's meant to be a very simple transaction, then that is one way to identify a scammer. Another way to identify a scammer is they usually try and insist on their way. A transaction where you're supposed to give a client your PayPal account and they transfer the money, or your bank account and they transfer the money, a scammer will try and sieve out more information from you. For example, when you're making a payment through PayPal, the only thing a client would ask for is your PayPal email address. In this case, you will find a client trying to find out about your names. Sometimes they even try and find out about the details on your ID document. Be very keen with these people. Many times when you're transacting online, it's very difficult that people want to know your personal details. They will simply want to know your bank account number or your PayPal number or a Western Union way of transaction. They wouldn't try to get the intricate details that usually are not shared online.
If you get into a site that gives online assignments and you find a client who is asking you to talk, to do some form of communication offline, that person is probably going to be a scammer. There will be no evidence. In case you agree to communicate with that person offline, maybe on Skype, then there will be no evidence of you getting scammed. Remember, the good thing with online work is that you already have what you need in order to start working online. If it's writing, you already have your computer or desktop, you have internet and labor, which is you. So I really don't think you need to then pay again after you've invested in yourself. You need to then pay again to get a job. If you really want to work online, then ensure that you go for clients who have good ratings and also who have good work history. By that, if you go through the ratings, then you can read through and know which client you'll easily work with and which client will be hard to work with.
If you're working away from a working site, you need to ask for some form of cushioning in case a client does not pay you, especially if you're questioning their integrity. Ask for some deposit. As Wamugunda's daughter has mentioned, majority of the times a freelance online worker usually has all the resources. So when you're asking for a deposit, ask for something more than 30% so that should they run away with your work, then you're able to cushion yourself. At least you'll have retained some money maybe for power or the internet that you're using. Also, it's important that you ensure before you hand over the work, you could have an agreement with your client that they will pay you in bits. If it's somebody you have never worked with, if it's an entrusted client, if it's somebody you've worked with for years or you've worked with for long periods of time, then maybe this is not really necessary. But if your sixth sense is telling you that something is not right, ask for a deposit, and after asking for a deposit, come up with an arrangement where the client is able to pay you in installments so that you're both able to trust each other. So if you've charged a deposit of like 30%, then tell them per every milestone or per every achievement, they will have to pay another 30% until it's 100%. If they do not agree with this arrangement, then chances are you're getting scammed or you need to get out of that situation.
Always use your common sense. Yes, had I used my common sense when I got scammed, then I wouldn't be talking about this. Let's say you are a beginner and you start working online and you find a client who is paying you $50 for every 225 words. That's a page. And when you do your research, you find that the experts are being paid, let's say $30 for a page. Then you have to use your common sense. Why would this person pay you as a beginner $50 and pay the experts $30? That automatically means that this person is not even going to pay you. You will work, deliver your work, use your skills, waste your time, and not get paid. So whenever you find that maybe the deal is too good, always think twice. Use your common sense. Research. Go back to that client's work history. Research on that. Find out what type of a person he or she is. If he or she pays on time. If he or she has a good rating, then judge from that. Another way of avoiding being scammed online is doing a background research of the person who is giving you some work, because that way you will find what kind of a person you're dealing with. That is why we have reliable sites like Upwork. But when I mention Upwork, I don't mean that you can't get scammed there. As much as you're working in a site that you really trust, then you also have to be cautious about the people you work with, because you may find that you're working with a person who does not give out clear instructions before giving out an assignment, and then waits for you to work on the assignment, and right after you've worked on it, put so much energy and creativity in it, and you send it back to him or her. He or she then maybe comes up with something that maybe he forgot to mention about something that was supposed to be added on the assignment, but he or she didn't.
So how do you deal with scammers when you come across one in the online space? The first way that you must deal with scammers when you meet them is shame them and call them out. And obviously you have to make sure it is a scammer. Sometimes not all of us are very eloquent in a way of communication, and not all of us are very good at communicating. So make sure you've sieved them enough to know if truly they're a scammer. But before you call someone out, before you shame someone, make sure that truly you are sure that this person is a scammer. After calling them out, you need to report them to relevant authorities. When you're working in the online space, and especially if you're working through online sites, they usually have a standby customer service where you can raise your complaints and grievances on different issues. So when you spot a scammer and you're sure they are a scammer, be sure to report them to the customer service, and they will be blocked or they will be dealt with according to the laws of the site. If you're dealing with them outside the site through the internet, in this case you can report them through the various social media sites according to where you're meeting them, and these social media sites also have a system where scammers can be reported. You can also block them. You do not have to deal with anybody who is trying to get your money illegally or who is trying to con you out of your services. So you can block them from your system so they do not have access to you again. It is also important that you notify your colleagues and your friends who are in the same industry with you and who are likely to meet these scammers. This will help a lot. If you've reported this person and you've warned your colleagues, and this person tries to scam your colleagues out of their services, out of their money, they will also report the same, or they will also be aware not to deal with this person. So you will have saved everyone in the long run, and the number of people who will have reported these people will also increase, which means that they will be looked into and taken out of the systems if they're truly scammers. Also, do not share your personal information with anyone online or offline. When you open a bank account, for example, you're usually warned that some information is yours alone, let alone a bank account. Even when you're getting a new phone number, when you're getting a new M-Pesa number, you're usually warned not to share your PIN number with other people. In the same case, in the online space, do not share your PIN number or your passwords with anybody. Do not also share your personal information. Most times when money has to be transacted from one person to another, all that is needed is your account number and your names. And you don't even have to put your names the way they are on the ID. You just have to get all the information right. So do not give out your information. Do not give anyone your ID number, your passport number, any of your intricate details, the things you will not tell anyone on a daily basis. Do not trust anyone online with the same systems.
Change all your passwords, including your ATM card, your computer's passwords, everything. Ensure that you change all your passwords, and not only should you change your passwords, but ensure that you put stronger passwords that one cannot easily guess. Once you've gotten scammed, ensure that you immediately report that to your bank so that they can protect your bank account. Each bank's website has a form that you fill once you get scammed. It's called the third party mandate, and once you get scammed, apart from informing your bank, then ensure that you immediately fill that third party mandate to report what has just happened to you.
If you follow every rule that has been set online, then it is very possible to avoid getting scammed of your money or services or products.
Thank you so much for watching our video till the end. I am sure you did learn something new. Also, continue keeping safe and praying that we will all get through this.
Yes, please do keep safe. Go out only when it's necessary, especially if you're not an essential service provider. Work from home and pray. Let us all pray to ensure that we are able to get back to our normal lives as soon as possible. Wamugunda's daughter and I are looking forward to continue this conversation with you. We will be very available in the comment section below, so feel free to pitch in. Tell us the things we haven't mentioned about getting scammed online. Tell us what you think about what we have discussed in today's video. We will be sure to respond to you. Until my next video, goodbye.